Hey guys, this is Kurt from the Produce Department. When I talk with Shopify store owners about their marketing, one of the first things that we tackle is the store's conversion rate and how the store will respond to paid traffic. A lot of times when clients contact me, it's because they want to grow their store and maybe they're not hitting their numbers and the goals that they are aiming for ultimately. So we set up a spreadsheet to help us calculate those numbers and come up with some example scenarios where we might be able to hit our goals. So I thought it would be useful if we pulled open numbers from one of my existing client campaigns, and we could take a look at some of the figures that play the biggest role in determining whether or not a campaign is going to be profitable. So let's see. In this example, we're going to look at I've pulled the latest 3 complete months of numbers for this client. We spent $5,300 and brought in $73,386 for return on ad spend of 1,374%, which is great. Here we've got a screenshot with some of these numbers, and we'll pull a few numbers from down here in our calculations. But in order to get started, let's pull open the Shopify reports tab and look at the dashboards here. And we're going to look under conversions heading. We want to pull these 3 numbers: added to cart, reached checkout, and purchased. We'll plug these 3 numbers into our spreadsheet, but these numbers are going to tell me a lot about the way that this store processes traffic. These numbers tell us a lot about what we can do to positively influence the revenue numbers of this store, the conversion numbers for this store. But in this instance, we're talking about Facebook ads. So I plug those numbers in right here, and I've got this so that it will calculate the percentage of people that make it onto the next stage. I took our budget and divided it by 3 because we're going off real campaign numbers here. So we took our ad spend, divided it by 3. The next number we're going to look at, just so I don't need to jump back and forth, is our cost per click, which over this period it averaged to be 20 cents. So we popped 20 cents in here, and that's going to give us this average number of website clicks. This number, these add to cart percentage, reach checkout, and completed checkout numbers all come straight from our Shopify store. And the next number that we're going to want to plug in here is our average order value. If you don't have this number anywhere else, you can easily calculate it just by pulling it up on this same screen here. Take your total sales, divide it by the order count here, and you'll have an average order value. In this case, it was $173. So this is telling us that we would bring in about $21,000 with an average cost per acquisition of $14 and return on ad spend of 1,181%, which is great. And it's because we have already optimized and worked on a lot of these numbers that we're looking at here. So this campaign is firing on all cylinders and has been doing great for months on end. Return on ad spend, just in case you don't know, is total revenue divided by ad budget, and it's a good indicator of the profitability of your campaigns. It's telling you essentially, if I spend $1, in this case, we're going to bring back $11 for every $1 that we spend. But let's say that I was working with a store that was not yet meeting its goals. We would want to look at some of these ways to improve our numbers. So let's look at the role that cost per website click plays. This is decent, 20 cents a click for this niche. But let's look at how big an influence this can have. If we change that from 20 to 50, our revenue numbers go from 21,000 to 8,000, right? So this is plays a huge role in e-commerce purchases from paid traffic. So how do we affect this cost per website click? Well, we could do a whole video, and we probably will do a whole video on all of these numbers, but essentially it's optimizing your campaigns. It's targeting properly, having solid messaging, and delivering the right message to people at the right time. But again, we'll go into some detail in some future videos. But so this, you can see here, this has a huge influence. We'll bring this back to 20, which is where he's at right now. The next number here is our add to cart. And he's at 5.21 right now. But if we could raise that number up, so here we raised it to 6.5, and you can see that brought us up from 21,000 to 26,000, and our average cost per acquisition is down from 14 to 1170. So that's a nice improvement for sure, and this isn't a huge jump. There's a lot that you can do to increase your add to cart numbers, including retargeting and abandoned cart emails, among other optimizations on your site. And then finally, this last number here that we're going to look at is our average order value. And so he's at 173. Let's move that up let's just jump it up by $10. So 183, and that affects us. Let's see. So we're at 6. Let's make sure these numbers are the same across the board. 173. So 27. So this right here, that didn't have as large an effect as these numbers here, our add to cart rate and our cost per website click. Now, of course, they're all additive, and you can see that that we jumped from 11,000. Well, let's look at our revenue, but our return has been jumped from 11,000 to 15,000, which is awesome. So instead of $11 for every dollar spent, we're bringing in $15. So that's a big difference. And our revenue numbers jumped from 21 to 27. And here we didn't even make an improvement to our cost per click, just for the sake of making some improvement and seeing what the effects are. Let's bring it down just a little bit. Let's bring it down to 16 cents. Bam. All right. So we can see that has a huge effect from 21 to 26. And then I've set this up so that it reflects that number across the board. So if we were able to affect all three of these changes, 16 cents from 20, and then from 5.2 and jumping up to 6.5 add to cart rate, and then our average order value, if we were able to bring it up from 173 to 183, then we could go from a return on ad spend of 1,100 to 1,900%, right? So you're bringing in $19 for every dollar spent. Again, this campaign has already been well optimized. These are realistic numbers. We have clients that are actually getting this type of return on ad spend. But again, this campaign's already been optimized, and a lot of times we'll be dealing with stores that are just trying to figure out how to make it work so that their campaigns are profitable, is how we'll start. And then we look at ways that we can really scale profitability and bring it to the next level. So if you would like to go through this process with us and brainstorm how we might be able to boost sales for your Shopify store, you can reach out. This is our web address, ProduceDepartment.co. If you visit Work With Us, or you just hit the Work With Us button when you get to the site, then you can schedule a session with me, and we'll go through this process using the numbers from your store. All right, thanks. Hope it was helpful.